This is the best position 4 I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I think the cool thing with this meta is because these heroes scale so well and they go into the late game. Remember when he was, we're going to see a big concoction here on the Quinn, but he will live. The fact that these Mirana type heroes, these leaderboards, he played carry, not support in those situations. So that's another guy to look out for.
Yeah, it's cool how when you're good at Dota, you're just good at Dota, you know? Like, there are some players that choose to truly specialize and only play more or less one role their entire career. And in terms of pro play, Saksa is that guy as well.
Yeah.
But he just has a very wide repertoire, and I think there's something good to be said about trying other roles out, whatever level you play on. Whether you're a pro player or you're a 4K player, like diversifying your pool gives you a different and deeper understanding of the game. And I think that's part of his X factor. Nice arrow. Blood grenade.
Yes, I believe that will be first blood going the way of Tofu. So Gaimin Gladiators first on the board. Beautiful arrow.
Damn. Just, you know, maybe we shouldn't talk about players. It's just setting them up for failure here.
Yep, true.
But guess what? Pure can recover from this, because problem for Tundra really kicks in when Ace hits level 6. Then I just don't really see this ET Luna lane staying at all, and you probably need to move your pieces around a little bit for Tundra, but until that point, you have some pressure plays of your own. I think especially the Alchemist, knowing that it's Thompson and how he like Facet. How did the first bounties go? Was that was a 3-for-1 split for Tundra as well, so even more went in their favor before the lanes actually began.
Well, I want to talk a bit about the bear. Obviously, that was a big discussion for the panel. Doraccio, not known as the lone druid player. Ace is typically that.
Yeah. And you have a facet like this that just empowers your hero with fewer items. Talk about a match made in heaven for this team, right? Like, that is when they want to peak anyway. So you're just making them stronger at the timing that they had with the previous facet.
Yeah, that's true. I never really thought of it that way. That's definitely true. I'm confused why we haven't really seen it.
And Gaimin didn't first pick it this series either, right? It was a second phase pick.
Yeah,
they did rate Mirana over everything, which I think is very understandable. I think Solar Flare has been the spell of the tournament.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It is incredibly good. And they've built a lineup here where they have 3 cores that all benefit a ton from this physical damage that Mirana's going to give them. A lot of the time when we see lineups with Mirana, like maybe...
We're happy about that. That is the first power rune of the game. See how he actually uses it to potentially... I mean, how much maneuverability do they have to try to get some kills early on?
Well, both teams do have rotation power, right? The Storm is obviously the easier one to execute because you have so much reach, and with the regen rune, as you mentioned, that should be absolutely no problem. I think they're even, they're going to bring him in here. Tofu's going to connect upon Gaimin Gladiators toward that top lane, and Tundra, they might have the read here with Tops in his tower.
Yep, they zip on in. Whitemon looks super dead. Tofu's going to join the party. Starstorm is there as well. Pure on the run, but that regen's still going for Quinn. The Lucid Beam connects, but just too many heroes as Gaimin Gladiators with a 3-0 start to this game.
And now comes the big question. What do you do? The Radiance now. It's high risk, high reward. I can't say I love it because I'm a little bit concerned.
First arena of the game will be reserved for Celery, and that's the first kill from Tundra. I mean, they're only down 1,000 at this point, so has not snowballed in Gaimin's direction quite yet, but and Thompson can only just run away.
So what I was thinking was, in the past, what Alchemists would buy in mid would be the old Solar Crest, right?
Yeah.
Where you just amplify your concoction of the target, do a ton of damage with that, and acid spray, and kind of snowball fights off of that, and a lower cooldown on the concoction.
If he's in, oh boy, Pure about to get completely surrounded. 2 tomatoes, a porcupine, and then some Gaimin Gladiators heroes as well. The 3rd death for him in this game. Boy, we really cursed him. Good lord. Saksa trying to pressure the tier 1 tower. In the meantime, Quinn will casually right-click him down. Saksa does not have his ult yet, so feels like, oh, he's actually regenerating quite a bit as Quinn running out of mana, but eventually does get the kill.
I will say, so you say we're cursing Pure, but I think if anything, this goes to show when one of the best carries, if not the, of the tournament in terms of performance individually. So a major concern for Tundra, and they need to very quickly get to something meaningful, and it's not going to come from Pure. So the guy you're looking at right now is Thompson getting his first big eye out. That's not the way to do it. I think denying yourself with a concoction at the Ancients is not a get-rich-fast scheme.
Maybe he knows something we don't, Cinderin.
Yeah, I'm down in this area now. And for Gaimin Gladiators, this gives you the option of, we talked about constricting the map. Are you going to try to flush them out of this area now? And if so, where are they going to go? You have Vision top, You know the Storm is inhabiting that area. He just lives up here now.
Oh.
It's his new home.
Well, showing off the Radiance is Thompson, so do have to be a lot more careful with those little spiders. I assume, I mean, he's going to have to go like a Blink BKB or something to that effect as Ramses will now 9-2 start for Gaimin as, again, you talked about it, 5K lead against a core Alk. As Thompson, he will run into Dyrachyo, gets off the concoction. Yep, Pure's in the area as well, gets off the Lucent Beam. Here comes Tofu, though, trying to block them out, puts down the GG branch. Dyrachyo stuck in a corner. Big kill for Thompson. Showing some signs of life is Tundra. And Quinn, pretty low on mana, but he does have the rune bottle.
This is like 50 units on Roche.
He's spotted, so he will likely just be the trade for Roche here. And the Aegis will be taken by Quinn, as we've talked about many a time, one of the best Aegis carrying heroes in the game. Nothing's changed on that way. And Manta still not quite finished yet. But he's not that far behind Quinn, if you look at the core net worths right now, so things are evening out a bit. In fact, you can see the lead has gone down to 2K, so that's the Alchemist effect.
Would you believe the win expectancy for this game is 50-50?
Is it really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
So the thing is here, we've talked Gaimin Gladiators up in what position they are in the game, and I still feel like you have the feeling that it's impending, right? That they have this insane push coming. But the thing about a strategy like this is if you trip up once, if they have one failed push, their lineup could extremely quickly run out of steam against the lineup of Tundras.
And they find Quinn. Quinn's really low. The Echo's not quite enough. He zips away just in time.
How cool is Celery to not Hand of God there?
He probably just forgot.
Good luck.
I mean, he did have Aegis, so wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world, but Saksa, he's going to be found and eventually will be brought down as well. In the meantime, we have Dyrachyo's bear. He's like, what does this bear even have on it? It's just branches, for God's sake. But they're going to come with some backup. It's Pure in the backline, be able to take out Dyrachyo in tow. Quinn, he gets the kill. Ace actually gets the kill on Thompson. And the Aegis still remains online for Quinn.
That is still a very nice kill for the side of Tundra. Sure, you lose your Alk, which sucks, but you killed the bear twice. But with a Manta on Alk, I'm starting to believe more and more in their ability to just stall out as long as possible while Pure farms up a Storm. He's level 16 on the Luna, by the way.
Really?
Higher level than anyone on Gaimin Gladiators.
Wow.
The highest level on their side is the Storm with 15.5. So Pure, despite dying 3 times in lane,
He's 1 and 3.
is still the highest level hero.
And what a beast. And now the Tormentor will get ganked pretty hardcore. Look away, children. Who gets the shard?
White
Oh, God.
Quinn's a bit late to the party, but
he
he's
wants to
anyway.
fight, apparently. Uses the Electric Vortex, gets speared into a tree. Again, still has Aegis for less than a minute, so Tundra not going to expend much more resources on him. But they're just going from tower to tower with...
And a lot of the time when you look at this game state as Whiteman is dead, that would be what I would be preaching is, all right, the Dire have to group up, make a smoke play and try to get something done to stabilize the game and get back. But in this particular game, the solution is actually to farm. You just dodge, dodge, dodge. It's hard. It's hard to play that way, but I do think it's the best solution. And these teams are obviously world-class, so they can pull it off. I would not advise people to use split push as their primary strategy in Dota in the last couple of years, but sometimes it's the way you got to do it. And they've, in my opinion, done a pretty admirable job at equalizing this game. 7K gold lead, you have Alk. I know it's not pretty, but it's definitely not. They have Solar.
And AC.
Yeah, so Shiva AC is still missing. I don't know if they want either of them right now.
Oh, we have an arena. Oh, but the missed spear doesn't really matter, though. Celery is basically a creep within here. Pure and company will. Okay, the pipe level. Dyrachyo going in with the harpoon, doing so much damage to this Mars. Ramses just abandoned by his team as Thompson will concoct and attempt to run. He might be stunning himself, but the arrow is upon Saksa again. We've seen it time and time again in this game. As now Gaimin Gladiators on the
aggressive wards right now from the side of Gaimin. One at the top, one at the center, and one in between is going to be very difficult for Tundra to clean up the whole mess. In the meantime, you have to accept that Gonna have to be contesting with a Roshan's banner and a second Aegis here, because this fight, I think it is impossible for them to make it here even remotely in time. With everything Gaimin has, this is a very quick claim. And Tundra might just turn tail and run here. I think without information, this play is just so low percentage. They might be better off.
Pure's actually sticking around.
Okay.
Yeah. They can see that somebody's taking some lotuses, and they must be punished for their transgressions. Eclipse used on the tofu. That's a BKB! How? Quinn pops his BKB. Everybody's golden on Gaimin Gladiator side as Pure's taking a breath of the damage. Actually, inside the arena, getting really low. Finally, the Luna drops is at the cost of the Brood, though. And remember, Aegis still there for Quinn. They just picked it up. Thompson now attempting to pursue. He gets feared away. Ramses with a nice rebuke to end Tofu finally. As Soxa dies for the 100th time this game, as Duracho continuing to just right-click away with this Echo Saber. Ramses, the last remaining member of Tundra, about to fall. Full team wipe for Gaimin Gladiators.
And Quinn is beyond godlike, 10-0-9. I feel like we have not had many games. Lotus,
I can't
BKB,
get over
Leap.
that. God, Dota is hilarious now. It really is.
But the arena from Mars was insane there.
Thompson finding an opening onto Duracho, picked up a Scotty, so he is mega tanky. Gets feared away of his own arena as well. Pure
Good
with
arrow.
the Eclipse, trying to take it of his Duracho with his berry. He's finally going to be brought to an end. Quinn, Aegis still online. Will not try to waste it here and back away.
Little bit of a slip up there. It's just one core, but every core death is a minute of farm, and it is progression. This Luna will reach a point of critical mass that will become a Those two items, that evasion, that armor, is going to negate a ton of what Lone Druid is bringing to the table. White is going to find some friends.
That is so sad. They baited the bounties. Don't see that very often at 31 minutes in the game, but in health, by the way, in range form.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
That is absurd.
That is actually
God, that is insane. Oh, they might be catching Ramses here. Quinn gets Lucent Beam. Electric Vortex is there. He's taking a lot of damage from Sox on the other side, though. Ramses finally uses his arena and dies shortly after. And Quinn continue on with that BKB. Thompson, concoction onto 2 BKB targets because everybody has that item on Gaimin Gladiator side. 2 dead for Tundra. And just like that, we're in a 5 versus 3, not including Aegis.
Tundra were just
and
not
their
ready.
buildings will melt.
Uh-oh, another kill.
Yeah, opening up onto Soxa again.
No buybacks.
Having a really rough game. Still 2 cores of life for Tundra, but surely they cannot defend this.
This is minimum megas. Even just full-on push for tier 4s.
Yeah, they will try. That massive siege damage from Duracio's Bear with the branches still in his inventory. And they're going to try to go on top of the Luna. Pure dead again.
Does AC
have buyback? All right. And Thompson, last remaining member for the time being, inside of his fountain. Just trying to kite them. Duracio's Bear tickling him as GG is called. Gaimin absolutely manhandle Tundra in game number 1.
And just a